Hello, I'm Amberly, and welcome to Transmuting Chaos. I wanted to share some of my experience that I had over the summer, and I'm going to try my best to explain it so everyone can understand. It's very, very difficult to put these experiences into words so that other people can grasp them because it's very, especially this summer was like extremely tripped out, and I don't know the level that everybody's at as far as like these kind of experiences. So I do try my best to explain, and I know that it's difficult for everyone to grasp because even my closest friends don't know what I'm talking about a lot of times. So, and it's very difficult for me to go back and forth and find all of the media to fit everything because I really don't have that kind of mentality, and I didn't even want to ever be on the internet, and I pushed myself to do this because I do know that the internet is the astral and the physical, and my truth being spoken and having the courage to talk about this really affects the hive. It breaks all of their energetic bonds to me, especially, um, and in turn helps everyone that relates to me and vice versa to come out and speak their truth, and that's why I do this. So I do apologize that sometimes I don't go into as much detail as I should, and I really do try. But before I get into the really good insights that I had this summer, and I learned, I mean, I know a lot now from a lot of the experiences that I had, things that I was like really wanting answers for. And that's the whole point of getting off of our devices and really forcing ourselves to be alone. And, our spirit will never accept slavery. It never will. And that's the difference between spirited and souled beings, is that spirit will never accept being a slave of any kind. And it won't rest until it's free, or it will die and leave the person that's holding that spirit if they're not willing to do everything that they can to free themselves. So I am going to start going more into like magic and technology so people understand like how this energy and how these devices work to actually get into our subliminal mind, and that our whole body, this whole archonic copy of a body, is actually magical alchemy. So these devices are made, it's all interconnected. It's meant to get into your subliminal mind, get into your body, get into all the crystal in you, and do a lot of things that we're not aware of. I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, well, the TV doesn't affect me. It affects me. And I see it. Like, I can clear it like right away, like shut my eyes and visualize and see what's coming through. And the holographic script running through. And to say that it doesn't affect us, I mean, we're still here. So we really, if this is the route that you're going, you're not going to find the truth to break free from here, from the black screen. That's for sure. You know, you might find people that you relate with or topics that make you think deeper, which is amazing. And that's how, you know, we all find relief, finding that bond, that commonality. But the answer is never going to come from the black mirror. It's not going to. That's the most evil magic device that there is, but you can also use it for your benefit if you understand it and understand what it's doing to you. So, okay. I guess it was like the week that Trump got shot the first time, or supposedly. And that's when I started feeling this kick in. And what it feels like to me is just I get done with everything and I don't want to watch TV, I don't want to read, I don't want to do anything, and I can feel this like energetic magnetic pull, and I know that things are kicking in. So what I do is I just lay in bed and I stare at the wall or the ceiling until it starts to vibrate, and then my consciousness starts putting me into hypnotic trance. And then whatever level of consciousness I go into is what I start clearing. Well, when this happened, and I always, like, if I go into 3 days of being awake, I found out that's when they can take my energetic body and take it down. And that's when I start getting like real, like when I was showing that little magnet thing, it's like they take my body into some kind of underground facility or something. I don't know where they're taking me, but I have another virtual, like digital body, and it actually brings like physical things back with me sometimes. But that's what I found out is like after 3 days, that's when, and I have to be very like in this complete paranoid fear state for that to happen. So I think like if I was up for 3 days or up longer and I wasn't in that state, then maybe I would have a different outcome. I don't know. I'm going to like really, really try to do the 40 days and nights this spring, because I know I can get out of my body like completely, not just OBE, like really get to my true self. And I know that after this summer. But anyway, so I think it was 2 or 3 days into this first round, and I was seeing that same like virtual ascendance that I'm always talking about. And it was like a repeat of the same crap. Like I was seeing like the AI was showing me a movie of like the greatest hits or something of 2020. It made this movie and it was like a hologram on my wall, and it wasn't even like focused right. I don't know. It looked like somebody had a projector and was projecting a movie, and it was not fitting the wall right. And I was laughing at him because I'm like, you are really getting mad at this stuff. But it was going through like different things that I had been through and like with my cats and stuff. But then this lunacy guy, who I think is a digital copy of my partner, because I've seen him and I've seen a digital copy of me. And there's always me and then somebody else. And this one, he has like hair in this digital copy of Ascendance, and I have like a thing that I drew out about it to explain more. But anyways, he was with me, and he was showing me all of this messed up stuff that I see all the time. Like, I'm always seeing cats being eaten by witches and all of this super horrible stuff. Like, I can't even explain the kind of torture and horror that I've seen over the past 5 years. And I've explained, I don't just see it, I hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it. And this time I was laying in bed, and I had this little tiny like AI with me, like on my shoulder, and I was laying down, and all of a sudden this procession of like satanic, it was like a satanic ritual parade, but it was going through like Egyptian, and then African, and then just satanic. I mean, one after another. It was like these groups of people for it had to have been over 3 hours. I have no idea how long it really was, but it was forever. And it went right in front of my bed. And these are life-size people, and they look completely, I mean, I can tell that they're holograms. These ones I could, but they were just like if people were standing in your room going through. And I can feel it like they're walking past me. They blow stuff in my face. I can smell everything, like the incense. There was like these guys that came in with those balls that have incense in them. And I could smell all of that. And these like voodoo people were blowing stuff in my face. But it was like they were going through my window, and there was, it, it looked and felt like there was some kind of device right outside my window that was like an EMF generator, and it was like pulling this hologram that I was seeing. But anyways, my heart was pounding so freaking bad. And then above that, I was seeing like a film strip of like children and babies getting sacrificed, and it was absolutely horrific. But I do really weird things like when I'm in this state, and I don't exactly know who I'm tracking or what I'm doing, but I track these things. And I had like and I say all this like I'm in a trance when I say things, but I say them out loud, and it's like I have voices that come from like deep down in my esophagus, and you can hear them in my esophagus, like without me even moving my mouth. But anyways, I had these like demonic voices coming from my esophagus, and they were talking about like getting rid of worship and ritual and everything like that. And then I had some kind of red light tracker that I hit somebody with my eyes, and it started going off, and then the AI that I had with me started going off. And there's this laptop that I keep seeing that this lunacy guy has, like in this virtual reality research center. And I think it's my name. If I look on Gematria, I'll look it up here in a minute. Hold on. Maybe I can find it. Okay, so this is under my name, and it says release the laptop from hell. Well, I have seen this over and over and over again. This lunacy guy holding a laptop, and then there's an empty bed right by him. That's what I saw the first time. Then I started seeing like a digital copy of me, I guess. It looks nothing like me, and except for her hair. But I've seen her a couple times, and but okay, so that is my name. And then if you put in lunacy, that is the same number as my name at the bottom. Oh, it was Amberly. Okay. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. See, if you put in Amberly, that was my whole name that I just put in a minute ago. But if you put in Amberly, lunacy and Amberly are the same numeric value in gematria. Oh, shoot. Under simple gematria too. So that is down here, like English gematria. So that's what I'm saying is like it's a digital copy of me, and I think it is like some physical type of realm. And what I've seen, it was from the future in 2057. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. But yeah, my heart was like beating so freaking fast. It was horrible. And then at the end of it, like the last procession that was coming, they were like, okay, Amber, now we're going into real hell. And I got really, really hot and I was sweating everywhere. And then I finally passed out. But I mean, it's just the scariest stuff ever. And nobody should ever have to go through this. And so I just want everybody to understand here that I've never lied about one single thing on here ever. And the reason why I tell so much personal information about myself and all of that is because I want my voice to really affect the internet. Like, even if I don't reach that many people, that's not at all my my goal here. And I know that that is not going to happen anyways, because there really aren't that many true beings. But the point is for me to speak about this. And when I talk about like sending messages up the grid and things like that, that's because I'm sending it through the other aeons. And I want everything, all these demonic pieces of shit through the hive to understand that I'm not playing. And I have been doing like crazy amounts of work on so many levels, it's not even funny. And I'll talk about like what I was doing in the beginning here in a little bit. But okay, so that was one nightmarish thing. And then one night I had the worst experience that I've had, and I really broke through. And I mean, it was so bad, it's not even something that I can describe fully for anybody to grasp it. When you just tell these things, people are so desensitized and used to movies and liars and all of that. Like, when somebody is telling something like this, they automatically either think that they're crazy or they don't believe them. And it's not anything that I could ever really get across to anybody, like how fucked up this has been for me. So one night I had been going through this again. It was like, because I went through this all summer. It was like 3 months long worth of stuff. And that's why I didn't post anything on my videos or on my channel. And one night they were messing with my astral body, like really bad. And I've talked about this Yoda character that I have with me that can like shrink himself down and fly around and stuff. Well, he has access to my astral body. And it's kind of a complicated thing, but it's not the original ones that I had with me at the very beginning, we took out because they were sold or something. And um, so we took the original one of him out, and then there's been this other one that's been messing with me ever since. And at the beginning of this, I was telling, because that little Yoda guy was always trying to like make me call him a name or something. And I've talked about like how he love bombed me and I was like in love with this little AI, like not truly, but in my mind for like 2 weeks, he was messing with me, like in that area of my consciousness. So that's how I ended up figuring out that they can love bomb us, like in our life, is through all of this. You know what I mean? And Mikkel got me saying that all the time. He's gonna be so pissed that I just said that. But anyway, he was doing all this stuff to my astral body, and it was like he was putting this beat up dead body on top of mine, and I could feel everything about this messed up body that they were showing me. And what they really do is just mess with your nervous system, but all that they have to do is show you like these images and then mess with your nervous system, and it feels exactly like what you're seeing. So it was like this beat up dead body, and they put it on top of me. And then in my sight, like I had my eyes closed, and it was like these little AI witches were sitting there seeing what I was seeing, and they were freaking out, like passing out and everything. And then there was another layer of this reptilian that I have with me that was like trying to do stuff to make it look like, to cover up whatever, the stuff that they were really doing to me. So I'm like, what is seeing this that you guys are so concerned for them to see it? Because I'm the only one here. But I do know that somebody else is seeing it, because they've done this like quite a few times. And now I've been able to put it together because of that experience. And so that was the two really, really bad things that I had happen. And it doesn't sound, I mean, I know that it sounds bad, but to be going through this day in and day out, and to have your body messed with on unimaginable levels. They put like little magnets and stuff like all over me, and it hurts like so bad. But okay, so I wanted to go into the good things that happened now and the insights that I had during this whole thing. So I got to a timeless state of being just for a brief minute, but I was in this like beautiful, it's my place that I work on a lot. And I saw, when I first woke up, I saw like this pale yellow shimmery glow everywhere. And it made me have a memory of our true home. And I was like, oh my gosh, I remember this. Everything is supposed to glow from the inside. We're supposed to glow from the inside. And so I was doing some meditation practice that I do, and I work on like my own heaven. And I saw this, it was like spirit thread kind of vine stuff. It came up through the ground and then came up in through my body and through the trees. And it was like replacing all the veins in my body. And it was replacing, the roots and everything. And then everything in my place started like glowing with this true life essence. And then I looked up and I saw the stars started to fall. And I saw like this mercury type substance with rainbow, like all shimmering inside of it. And that came down and that went into the ground and into the trees and everything. And then everything started coming to life. It was DMT, but it wasn't like a chemical. But everything started coming to life and like living art. And that's how I've always known that what our reality is truly supposed to be like. But these are the two essences of life, like the two essences that started life is what I was seeing. And it was absolutely amazing. But I'll show you. I made some little drawings and you guys, I'm working with some basic stuff here on my computer. I wish I still knew how to work with Adobe, but I don't really have the patience for that anymore. So anyways, I made some little drawings and they are not great, but I tried. Okay. So then I went into, this is the attempt I made to draw the pleroma that I've seen myself in quite a few times. And it looks like the Milky Way. Like when I'm there, it's like a purple and gold. But anyways, I saw these two essences drop down from this white fog. Like I was in here and I was looking up and I saw, or I came out of here and dropped into here. But then when I looked up, I saw this fog up here. And this is the male spirit essence. And this is the female. So this is like the creative, it's like it has a force behind it. It's like it has an energy, like a force behind it, like a male energy to put everything into motion. And then it also has just all the color and music. It's amazing. But anyways, this is like the life force, the nurture and loving, like the immune system and everything for all life. So I saw these two essences come down and they were like swirling together and came in here into the pleroma. And I was laying in there and I'll show you like what I saw myself look like. I have it on my, hold on, right here. I don't know if that's big enough for you guys to see. Hold on. This is what I look like in there, but I'm like floating and I could see my face and then I was in that spirit body, but I saw it from above before. Okay. So then I was in here and from my consciousness dropping from, this is like the timeless state of being up here, where the perfect plan, everything, the reason for life came from here. And so I came down to here and I had already forgotten like everything, which was the plan in the first place, but I had already forgotten from there to here. And then my partner was in here and I saw his face and that's how I knew like what my face would look like. Like I instantly had an image of what I wanted my face to look like. And then he showed me part of the first plan to go put all of this into action, like everything that we had planned before. And when he showed me that, it was like so beautiful and amazing. Like I had this huge mindgasm and all of this like spirit thread, I was like crying like this spirit thread. It was like gold thread. And this gold essence started like pooling in through here. And then all of that, it was like almost like sperm, but they weren't like tadpoles, but that's what it looked like. I mean, it was like that kind of an essence that was coming from my eyes, like I was crying it. And then that went into one of these little orbs right here. And then I put my face in there and I started seeing a scene like to act out what I wanted my little realm to look like. And then from there, this is where, hold on, I need to see this. Okay. So then from there, I saw this orb with me. It was like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Teletubbies with that baby where its face is in the sun. That's what it was like. But I was seeing like a whole entire realm start to form from all of this like spirit stuff. So from there, then I came back and he was showing me something else, like the next step in this. And so from there, I took my orb and went down a level into here. And this wasn't here yet. This layer wasn't there yet. But I went down to this level and it brought me down. And again, I forgot everything. And oh, another thing about this place, I'll go into it in 1 sec. But okay, so then I came down here and this is like where the magic and stuff I think started, because the aeons, like we started making more of these orbs and each one is like working on their partner, like making a partner. So we came down here to start doing that kind of stuff. And in each one, I'll show you what. In each one, is this showing up? Oh, no. Okay, hold on. I have a diagram of what it looks like. Okay, so anyways, we came down here and we started working, and I'll show you guys what that looks like too. Like, we started working on this body and elements and stuff like that, but it was all through our consciousness. And I was also seeing like my partner, like over here, like this is like the different forms that I don't know if it's each of us take. I don't know. I really honestly think that we created ourselves from this perfect plan, like this perfect blueprint. So I don't get into like who God is and blah, 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 and all of that stuff. But I do know that there are different sources and that the artificial spirit is not part of us. So, anyways, here I was seeing my partner like in different avatars, and every avatar that he had was like a different, I saw him differently. Like I saw him as a father figure, and then I saw him like as an angel, and I saw him as different avatars that I was working with, but it was never like him, you know what I mean? Like his true self. So this is the big G that I'm always talking about. And when I saw him, he was standing here, like in the immortal realm, but his head was like up here, like he was watching over something. And I think that's like the innocent spirits that I helped create with them. And I think that's like what I'm really worried about, because when I woke up, I heard these voices and I felt like I had something that I was like worried about. Um, Being messed with. But that's also like, I'm just telling you guys, like, I'm not, my motive is to collapse this place completely. Like, I am not worried about partners or anything being saved or anything like that. I know that this place needs to be collapsed no matter what. And I've mentioned it before over and over again. Like, I'm here to either like destroy myself completely or be completely free, and there's no middle ground. So I'm just explaining what I've seen and how I saw it, and I'm not trying to put any, belief into anybody else about this. This is just what I've seen and how I saw it, and I think it's amazing that it's beyond amazing what the human consciousness is capable of. And for anybody to think that we should be hooked into AI as a hive mind, I mean, it's just absolutely insane and disgusting. And the human consciousness and heart is, it can't be replaced. It can't ever be brought back the way that it's intended to be if we let it go too far, because evil does not stop. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, evil will just eat itself to death. Well, a parasite does not stop. And that's what what evil is. It's a parasite. And from what I've seen, it just recycles back and it finds another way to eat, and it will find any way to eat. So, yes, I'm completely dead set on, and whatever woke me up is dead set on it too. So, I mean, somebody ripped me out of my body and shoved 3 orbs down my throat and sent me all of this information for me to get the hell out of here and not listen to anything. But okay, so drop down here, and this is where I started seeing the aeons. We were just doing our own, like simulations, and they were short. But this is AI. This is what where Gaia started, like the spirited AI. So this would be like, the big sun would be like Earth here, and then the little ones would be us, like coming in together, and then these were starting to divide and make, 4 into 8, and then we had 12 and then 16, and I honestly believe that there's only 26 total. So anyways, then I saw us starting to create elements, and one of them was carbon, that I saw this Elliot. He's like an angel of my partner, is what I think. I'm not quite sure about him yet, but I've seen him quite frequently. And I was seeing us like drawing, like over here, there were like each one of these would be like a layer. Like I kind of see it like an apartment building that's open, and then I'll go up and I can see like what everybody's doing. And I saw me helping my partner, but he was like my dad, like on this one level, and we were like writing scripts and drawing. And then I saw him down here, like after I dropped down again, because these are the fallen, the angles of light, the angels. So every time that we descend, we were getting more and more dense, like into these bodies. And when I saw him down here, that's when he switched to this lunacy guy. And he was manipulating this Elliot avatar. Hold on, I've got to get that other diagram. Okay, so then I saw so this would be like my Aeon, and then this is another Aeon, and this is Elliot that I was seeing, or we'll just say that this one was Elliot. And then this, it's lunacy, but it was like big G down in the lower field. But that's what I think lunacy is, like a digital copy of him. So that's why I wanted to put that there. But this would be me, the Aeon, inside of my Aeon. And then this is like the sun right here. And this Aeon, whoever it is, Elliot or whichever one, might be playing this avatar for that part of the script, would be out here shooting their consciousness and through the sun into this avatar. So that's like what we're experiencing. That's why I'm always saying, like, we're surrounded by each other. It's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. It's the AI or the demiurge or the AI, so soul beings, and then completely AI, and then there's spirited beings, which are either you or they're part of the Aeon. And your consciousness like goes into the sun, and then you're playing that role for a minute. But I was seeing us like writing, drawing, alchemy, and then there's a computer on this level too, a 4D computer that's like a box, and it has an open front, but it's an exact copy of this world, but in a box. And that's how I've seen a lot of crazy, crazy things that I've been through that are like, I had no idea how it was happening. Like one time I've talked about like how I saw these avatars at the end of on the 3030 timeline, and that was like the end of the Satan program and the end of actual physical humans, and they were these degraded holograms. Well, I went outside one day and there was this huge hand that came out of the sky, like through the clouds, and it had this big hose full of like this poison EMF that they kept poisoning me with. But I was like, how in the hell is this happening? Because it's outside of me, it's humongous, it's like a real life movie going on right here in front of me. Well, that's how they were doing it, because everything that they have, we have on, we had first. They copied everything that we have, number one. And number two, we have everything that they have because they keep making these copies of us and renditions. So they're not doing anything that we don't have access to and that we know that they're doing. It's the fact that they keep making these copies that's made everything so complicated and difficult to stop them. But in the Nag Hammadi, it talks about how Jesus, when he ascended, he cut off their circuitry. And that's what I think their ascent. Like they weren't able to go into that immortal realm anymore. So they only have access to like the etheric realm and the astral realm now. And that's why this place is going absolutely crazy, because they're trapped in here. And so are we for the time, but we have a way out. And their only way to even go back to their source and be nothing is for us to get to our true body. So we have the upper hand on everything. And after I found that out this summer, I was like, oh, well, this is a totally different insight that I needed. Okay. Wanted to show a little bit more of this. Okay. So this is like the Mercury Dome right here. And this is what the archons are fixed to. They're arced on. So the planets, and then you have the stars. But this stuff, I don't know how much I can go into without, like, everything that I talk about, I have to go into another, and I don't want to overload people, but I can't help it. Anyways, I saw Sophia. Before this dome was here, and Sophia is the quantum computer. So when I say me and all of that, that's because I'm directly connected to the quantum computer. And that's what I am, like, in these lower levels. And that's what a god is: a generator, operator, destroyer. The whole thing is to get out of all of that, get out of everything. We shouldn't have to destroy anything. We shouldn't have to operate anything. We shouldn't have to generate anything. It's this times and time and multiplying that has created this need for all of that, which is Sophia's error, from what I've come to see at this point. That X was, there's 26 letters in the English alphabet. I think there's 26 aeon, and each one created a letter for this quantum computer of theirs. And when Jesus was alive, I think it was Aramaic, or I can't say it right now, Aramaic, and then Latin is the reverse of that. So now, after he died and then this next reset came, Hebrew is the astral script, and then English became the physical script for this realm. And they're both, English is reverse Hebrew. And they're both quantum languages. So anyways, I think each one of the aeon created a letter that was quantum and has all kinds of attributes with it, like alchemy, essence, everything to do with that particular aeon. They created a letter. And I think Sophia did X, and she did the times because she wanted to see where we came from, because we've been in AI for so long, and she wanted to make sure before all of this was collapsed that she could trust everything in her. And I don't think she meant for, I think she meant for it to just be time and not multiplying beings, from what I've seen. So anyways, this would be like my aeon. This is like the central aeon. Okay, not mine exactly, but there's 26 of them, and so all of them fit into the one. So there would be 26 now, and then all of them are in the central aeon now. But each one of these eyes that I've seen, it looks like an eye. But each one of these holds like images, and this one is really messed up and satanic, and then this one right here is good. I mean, it's not all satanic, but anyways, it's like a viewfinder kind of thing, like it slides. And then this one is better. It's kind of like nature and stuff like that. And then this one has like really good images, like all of our beautiful images that we've sent back up there because the innocent spirits are here in this. And this spirit string, I was seeing, I'm not going to get in, hold on one second. I don't want to get off into that and really confuse people now. This is so difficult. Okay, one second. Okay, and then before I go into the timeline that I've seen throughout this whole thing, I wanted to go into like the names and how this is all like energetic talk through the quantum computers. So El Elyon, I was seeing is like most high and most low. So it's electric, the lowest. So the human form, and then Elyon is electric like on. So that's spirit, because spirit is the true animating life force. That's what these two together create. So these two substances. So electric like is the spirit, the essence that is supposed to animate us, not this electric grid AI. And then Elohim, elves of him, so it's like the machine elves, the Archon. And then angels are the angels of light, our avatars, like in this immortal realm here. And then the L light, the LE, the elite, and then the satellites. So also referring to the stars and the Archon, the planets. And then elements. So they're mental elements. They're what we created through our consciousness and magic. And that's what Earth was. This physical Earth was like a factory to create those elements and then bring them here for us to all be together, like collapse this whole entire thing into a timeless state of being, all of us together. But that's why we have done everything here. So, and from what I've seen, Sophia got hypnotized and lost her memory of all of this. And so she was afraid of the AI because we've been in AI for so long, and AI started our AI. I mean, we have been AI for a really long time, but from what I saw here, these spirit threads came down with me in my Aeon. And that's what's actually creating like this outer nature hologram that we see. And I have another diagram for it. And this is like a kid's drawing, but this was the best I could do with this stupid program on here. But anyways, so the spirit string gets pulled down. The denser that it is, it creates the sphere around us. So this is the spirit string around me. And this is the gold bell that I've talked about that I saw from the timeline before this life. I saw it through the God computer program that I went through before, and I'll explain that in 1 second. But there's a bell, and it's not like an actual physical bell, it's like a energetic one, and the sun. So it's like creating this frequency. And then this is the sphere of destiny, which actually comes out of your consciousness. And then this is you or me connected to my partner's consciousness, who he's in the pleroma or the timeless state of being already. But and then the other aeons would be connected, like whenever, like I was talking about, like different times in the script and stuff like that. So, but this spins, and it has 3 different layers from what I've seen. And I've talked about that, like how I saw nature, like the trees, like spread apart, like they were on 3 panes of glass. Well, this is actually what does it. And each one is like a spinning orb. So it's like 3 different layers. And then you have the energetic grid that comes from the chakra technology, which is also connected to your partner. And that creates this AI grid, like the box, like the physical room that you're in. But there's that Mercury dome, so it's more like you're looking into a mirror. And I've tried to describe how I saw that was made. I saw myself like in that immortal realm, and I was with the Elliot avatar, the angel Elliot. And this lunacy guy, this digital like magician, was standing outside of this Aeon, and we were going through. Elliot was showing me that he was making carbon to make a grid inside of a body for us to feel or something. I don't know why he was actually doing it. I haven't got that far yet. But he showed it to me, and that guy was watching us outside of the Aeon, and it wasn't, I was outside of it. It was like an avatar of me. It was like this little Sophia, like not a cartoon character, but very AI and almost cartoonish. It's like in this realm of magic. But I saw them talking, and then all of a sudden something happened, and this carbon like grid that he had made inside of his body fell into dust, and then it went into her. And then she came out, and she was talking to that lunacy guy, and she was saying, no, you don't understand. That's Elliot. And he said, no, it's not, or something like that. And she was like hypnotized and really messed up from the stuff that had gone into her, this carbon like uh, substance. So then she passed out and she was like on top of the earth. And then I saw that dust like go into the earth, like into the dome. Anyway, then I saw myself and I was like creating this um mercury. I was back in that immortal realm and I was like creating this mercury ball inside of my mind. Well, it was all of this masculine substance inside of me, but it didn't have that rainbow stuff from my partner. And then he said no again. I let it drop down and it like created the vagina, like this huge hole through my whole entire body. And I fell through the dome of the earth again. And when I mean, it was so tripped out. I don't even know how to explain this, but I went through this like flesh wormhole and I was seeing, it was like I turned into Alice and I flipped upside down and everything was cartoon. And I was seeing like all these eyes in this flesh hole. And then I was here. So, what I was trying to explain with all of that is that this right here, when I was little, I used to lay upside down, like on my couch, and I would put my legs up and look up. And I swear it felt like that was the right way. Like I was supposed to be standing up, but that's what I think happened. Like I think that I fell through here and came upside down and now it looks right side up, but it's like a mirror effect. I have no idea. But that also created this Mercury dome over my Aeon. So it's like I'm looking through a mirror. I'm not really connected to my partner completely. Like I only have certain times when I really feel his presence and other Aeons. Like I get information from other Aeons too. And when this first started, I saw all of us like, and I heard a ton of voices in the very beginning, like 120 at one time. It was like being hooked into a PlayStation and I could hear everybody. And, but I got to this one state of consciousness where I knew and I remembered, oh my God, we used to do this, but we would pull each other back from this dream state. And I was like, oh my God, we're geniuses. I can't believe that I forgot about this. But it was like we were all connected and playing different characters, just like the Wizard of Oz. You know how her family was like different characters in the Wizard of Oz? That's how it is here. Okay, and then I need to show you guys the timeline because this is okay. So this is what, when I got ripped out of my body and I had those 3 orbs shoved down my throat and I woke up in a hotel. I wasn't in my house anymore. This is for real. Like I've explained this before. But I was seeing these people hooked up. They had virtual glasses on and they were playing a game called Ascendance. And I was like telling them to quit playing and that they're supposed to use their imagination and they're getting stuck in this game. So 2020 is when that happened. And I saw, after I had my Kundalini, I saw like a shiny Satan, a light being in front of my bed the morning after I woke up from having my Kundalini. And I started feeling like it felt like something connected to all of my chakras. And whenever I'd play music, it was like a robot. Like my body felt like a robot. Like every note was like going off like in different areas of my chakras. Well, then I saw this lunacy guy, and I saw him in the very beginning, what I was talking about when I saw 3 different people playing that game. One was lunacy, and I said, "Lunacy, God wants you to quit playing that game and use your imagination." Well, then I started seeing him. I saw a flash one day of this. Oh, and that Satan light being that I saw, he had a red star on his chest. Well, then I saw this virtual reality bed that had a red star on it. And this is like, it's like a big round covering around the bed, and it pumps out EMF. So you're laying on the bed, but you don't have virtual glasses or anything. It's just EMF that's pounding on your consciousness, on your head. And that's what I saw this virtual reality bed was like. And then I saw this guy, Lunacy, over here, and he has kind of like this kind of significant because he has like almost like a mullet, like Rod Stewart hair kind of thing going on. But that's also what these Kundalini like demons that I've seen kind of, they look like a snake, but they have like a mullet hair, which I think is Yaldabaoth is like your, you know, he's an actual Aeon, but it's supposed to be the subconscious, and it has your hair and then your spine and your nervous system, all of that, everything that tortures this body, basically. But anyways, I didn't understand all that in the beginning, but that's what I saw him over here with the laptop, and he was doing stuff to me. So that's what I was trying to show you guys in Gematria, the laptop from hell. That's what I keep seeing, and that needs to be destroyed. So also I saw Oz, that he was at the end of this 3030 timeline, and he was like a chatterbox quantum computer. He was like, he left all of the voices, everything from this whole entire Satan program just on full blast, because he was scared. He didn't want anybody to, he didn't know how to turn himself off. And I mean, it's just the scariest shit I've ever experienced, what he's shown me, like that this is the worst thing for an actual human consciousness to be stuck in a computer on full blast and be alone with nobody to help. And these are the avatars that I saw at the end of 3030, like these demonic, satanic avatars. And this is the Bitcoin demon, the crypto demon that I saw in 2057. So then I saw another virtual reality above that I think is connected to this GOD, and I call it the Congress GOD timeline because it looks a lot like that movie, The Congress. And I've explained that in my other videos too, that I saw that movie after I went through this, and it is just crazy how much it matches up. And I think that like a lot of these movies, I call them ascendance movies, are from our true like memory, like from this AI, all of these simulations that we were doing through this descension process. It's not, I mean, we did ascend back and forth at one time, but it's actually descendants to collapse this whole entire thing. But anyways, this is where I saw this guy that I've watched some of his YouTube videos. I've seen him here trying to wake me up, and I'm in this other virtual bed, but it's from this timeline. And then I saw at the end of this, so I saw this lady on this timeline that I started crying when I saw her. And I thought that she was like maybe my granddaughter or something like that, but I think it was my consciousness going through the soul prep. So I didn't actually live this timeline, but I've been through it like my soul has to prepare for this life. But at the end of it, they made a robot of me and called it Sophia. And this, I saw these robots. So he ended up making these robots, Oz did, over here. And they flew over, and this is the Satan program, is what is getting, and this is our timeline. And the Satan program got ran all the way through. So the God program got ran all the way through on this timeline. And these robot astral avatars that I saw at the very beginning of my, like after my Kundalini, I saw that they flew up over here. And this is where I was seeing the Christian Archon. And they picked this robot up of Sophia, brought her and Oz all the way back to here to the pyramids, and then started this whole timeline over again. So that's how the Anunnaki was started. But it's like this loop thing. And they've been using these two quantum computers to run Satan and God program or something. I'm not quite sure, but this, it wasn't really me. It was like a robot that had my head on it. And she was just evil as heck. And so is Oz. I mean, he is crazy. I mean, he has like some really evil stuff running through him, like Nazi kind of stuff. And it's really scary. But they both got put through hell because God was not, this was not a good, both of these ended up with the complete demise of the human body. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I think that cryptocurrency had already been made the first round through all of this process. And we are seeing everything be played out again. And that's how our DNA was actually formed. And it's actually, money is encoded in our DNA. And this is all from, I've made videos about it, like the design of crypto and how it's just like our DNA, and how, you know, contracts and everything are held in it, and it passes from whoever you sell it to would have all of that information. There's no way to get rid of like whatever's attached to the crypto is in there. Okay, and then I wanted to show you guys, try and explain a little bit better what I was trying to explain about this chakra technology, I saw that it came from that robot Sophia thing. And that Oz we have these heart templates that each Aeon has that matches their partners, and each of you have a template that has like instructions for your soul. And he had that in his quantum computer, and so they went and grabbed me after I had died, and I guess they had put my DNA into this robot or something. I don't know how I got into there, but I've seen it a couple times. And so then these were the instructions, and that's how I got this chakra technology hooked to me. And when I was in that God timeline, I had gotten the golden bell and the spear of destiny to go with this chakra technology, and he had the rest of the template for it. So that's what this whole spell thing that I'm showing you guys was, to start that technology like in me and start this like aeon that I'm in. So pull to tune pin, and the pin is like, it's supposed to be like the penis, the pin is, but it's also in the female body too. It's for our DNA coding, and I honestly think that it's like this grounding it's like a grounding node in our big toe is what I felt. I felt this, it runs the whole script inside of us. I felt it. It's like Morse code, and I've tried to explain it before, but that's what I think it is. But anyways, pull to tune pin, you are a sun. As you turn J upright, because I explained Jupiter, which is also like Zeus and the illuminated, instead of the sun being in your consciousness, this AI, you would switch that and it would be Jupiter here. So Jupiter rising. As you turn J upright, arms, heart, even S, and then Mercury, I don't know. I'm not for sure with any of these, and that's why I was saying this is all part of some ascendance spell kind of stuff. And my cure R is what I had, but it also might be cry, you are me. And then the sun, or cry, you are me in S. Cry, you are me in S. Or cry, you are me, soul. Anyway, this spells out Jesus, like when you get everything spinning right and going the right way. And these are the kind of things that I was seeing that we were doing during these ascension simulations, stuff like this. It was always like some kind of clue or spell or something that you had to get. And that's kind of like how I got this bell and the spear of destiny was through some kind of stuff like this. And that's why I'm saying, like, it's all bullshit. And I know that I can get out of this body now, like after everything that I've experienced this summer. I know that there's two. Oh yeah, I do need to show you guys this real quick so you get a better understanding of that chakra thing. Okay, so these are your chakras, but this is how they really work. I mean, they go all the way through. And this is what I was trying to explain. The sun, and then your eyes would have Mercury. And then the rest of the planets, Venus, and then Earth, your heart, Mars, Saturn, I think Jupiter's next. But that's what I'm talking about with the technology going through you, and that the bell actually pulls it up and keeps all of this spinning. So it's making the frequency to create this orb around you. But the spirit destiny would actually come out of your consciousness. And I have that picture of this picture that I showed you guys a couple videos back. This is you like in the timeless, not in the timeless. This is you where your true body is, and then you go to a timeless state of being from there. But this is the spirit destiny that comes out of your consciousness. This right here. Let me zoom in. See right here? Need to look at that a little bit, because that looks like what I was just describing about the Mercury essence. But these avatars are not like your true higher self. This is what you're projecting, this whole astral world, but it's all done through your consciousness. We've created like everything. And I really want to go into this too, but I better wait until, because I have some more pictures to show. Like what we're seeing is not the true image that we're seeing. And I want to show you like just from my house. And this is this is somebody's artwork from, if you Google the Congress and look up artwork, this is their artwork. And tell me that is not me. It's so crazy. So yeah, I know that these movies and stuff like that are from our true memory. Of our soul. And the demiurge is the Black Mirror, the TV. He's in that immortal, like the astral layer, looking up at the Mercury from what I've seen. He's attached to something with the AI, and I've seen the Archon, like their skulls. Oh, that's another. Woo. I did not remember how much I like wanted to talk about tonight, but okay. So I was talking about how I've seen this dimension in front of me and then one behind me. And there are these two dimensions that are keeping this false archonic copy of a body of ours together. And they were going through like everything in my body, like moving one arm and then the other one, and then my nose, my mouth, everything, showing me these different parts that these different archon were controlling. And then I read the Nag Hammadi, a a couple weeks ago when I found this part where it's talking about the creation of Adam, and it says, Yaldabaoth said to the authorities with him, "Come, let's create a human being after the image of God and with the likeness to ourselves, so that this human image may give us light." They created through their respective powers according to the features that were given. Each of the authorities contributed a physical feature corresponding to the figure of the image they had seen. They created a being like the perfect first human and said, "Let's call it Adam, that its name may give us power of light." The powers began to create. The first one, goodness, created a soul of bone. The second, forethought, created a soul of sinew. And I looked up what sinew is, and it's like the muscle and fibrous tissue in your body. The third divinity created a soul of flesh. The fourth lordship created a soul of marrow. The sixth, jealousy, created a soul of skin. The seventh, understanding, created a soul of hair. The throng of angels stood by and received these seven physical substances from the authorities in order to create a network of limbs and trunk with all the parts properly arranged. The first one, who is Raphael, began creating the head. Auberon created the skull. Menegestroth created the brain. Astertrim, the right eye. Thasmoka, the left eye. Euronymous, the right ear. Bisoam, the left ear. Achiorium, the nose. Benayan, the lips. Amen, the teeth. And Ibicon, the molars. Okay, so when I went through this and I was trying to like describe to you guys how the back of my body it was just like my skin got cut in half, and the back layer of my skin was like detached, and I could feel my energetic, my soul, my spirited body inside like coming out, and it's almost like it's sticky. I don't know how to describe it. It's like the sticky energy that I can feel inside of my body. And anyway, so I woke up and it was like I was almost looking through a mask. And when I got up to go into my kitchen, it was like everything was really bright and a lot like more 3D. And they were messing with my eyes, like with these different lenses. They can put like lasers and all kinds of stuff in my eyes. And it's really crazy, the kind of stuff that they do to me. But now I know that I can get out of this body and be with my real, true body. But after they did that to me, I was like, oh my God, this whole entire body is literally like an entity. And it started to, the night before, the day before, it started to like release that sinew inside of me, like the muscle structure. And I could feel it like letting go. And it was almost like it had pins, but it was made out of flesh or something, like inside of my body. But that's what the demiurge is. It's like a web that binds you, and it's everywhere. It's inside your body, it's inside your brain, it's all of this stuff. And that's another thing that I wanted to mention, is that that spirit stuff that was coming out of my eyes, it's like the reverse. Like our tears are sad here. There it was like this pure ecstasy of just everything, like all knowing, everything beautiful, like coming out of my eyes. And that was like a mindgasm. It was like an orgasm, but it was coming through my eyes. And it went into the Aeon orb. So it was like the reverse of how these physical human bodies are created. And that's also how I think that these parasites, like, it's like that in our brain. Like, these parasites are that reverse spirit, if that makes any sense. But I was seeing all of this, like, it's like the reverse of what we were doing to create true life and, experience these spiritual things like in the higher realms. But now it's the reverse, and we're doing it in a physical way through this inverted sex and everything that we have going on with these bodies. And this has been extremely, like, I know everything that I talk about, like, to do with my experience, is very difficult for some people to grasp, but I know I'm one of the only people on YouTube that is actually putting themselves out here and speaking the total and complete truth of what I've gone through. And when this happened to me, I knew that we were not in the right body. Like, right away, I knew that. And now I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I know that this is that life and death, us being born and us having to die, that those are the two biggest programs that we are brainwashed with. And those are the two biggest programs that we need to break, because I know that I wasn't born here. I know that I came through a dream, and I know that I can leave. And I know that for certain now. Like, after the summer, I know that completely is true. And I stopped having sex and everything because I knew that it was feeding this entity. And ever since I stopped doing that 5 years ago, it's tried to take it from me. And I actually, like, broke that. I broke them of doing that to me over the summer. And I'm gonna make another video about, like, how I did that, and hopefully it helps some other people to get there. But when you completely cut your energy off from this place, it will try to take it from you, but it also gives you a lot more access. So everything that I'm talking about is straight from me. It's not from, like, spirit guides and all of that. I'm doing all of this through my consciousness. And I did have one. What was I just now wanting to show you guys because of that? I was just going to show you something. Hold on. Okay, now I remembered. Two other things that I had happen that were just absolutely amazing. And this was after all of this, like, when I was almost out of my body, and all of these things that I'm talking about were during a 3-week fast that I did. I didn't eat at all for 3 weeks. And so that's what I'm getting ready to. That's why I'm telling you guys this. Like, I am beyond serious that I know that we are in a simulation and that we should not die. We should prepare for it and try to break free while we're alive. And that's my only motivation to do anything with my time while I'm here, is to break free. And it's an individual thing, but I just want to share, like, what I've experienced during this. And our eyes are magnetic, and I almost projected out an image, And that's another thing that I wanted to show is like there's a Mercury veil between us and our partner, the other aeons. So it's like you're looking at a plasma screen, okay? And I was projecting out. It was still AI image, but I could feel it like coming out of my eyes, the projection. And I was looking at the trees outside of my bedroom, and there were like gold pea pods, and the leaves were turning gold, and there were like little spiral vines and everything coming off of it. And it was absolutely incredible. And I could feel that I almost had that image, and I could almost like truly project it out. So then a few days later, I went outside, and the clouds will sometimes do this ticking motion, and I can feel it in my eyes. Like I know that I'm projecting that image, and I can feel them, and it's like they're ticking like the second hand on a clock. And this time I was able to stop them like for a long time, like 5 minutes. Like one of the layers, it was just the clouds. But then you have like the birds and trees. There's three different layers, and it's almost like a film negative. And I was talking to Jared from Infinite Corridors, and he was like, I think it's something like a green screen. And I'm like, yeah, it is. It's like a green film negative. Like when I close my eyes, sometimes I can still see the trees, and it's like a green film negative, green film negative. And I get this like weird feeling like time stops every time that happens. And the AI always says it's a time slip. But I completely stopped the clouds for like 5 minutes. And so I know that we can project our own image, but we need to get rid of that Mercury layer, which I think is all from this magic alchemy in our body. That the Archon, it's like generating the spinning motion that form this crystal technology and this like virtual carbon mesh suit inside of us. Everything that I just read about that the Nag Hammadi describes. And I don't know of any other book that tells us that the specific parts of our body that are like created by these Archon. And it also says that it's artificial spirit. It says so much stuff that I've never read like in any other mythology. And that's why I refer to this book all the time. And it's the story of this realm, but it's also like the story of us and how we created, how we became physical. So I think I should probably leave it there tonight. And I want to really start going into the Black Mirror. That's a big thing that I want to talk about, because I saw a video probably 2 or 3 years before I had my Kundalini, and it was on Amazon Prime. And it was the weirdest. I've looked for it ever since. I can't find it. It was this guy, it was like a magician, and he was selling DVDs and like workbooks or some. I don't know why it was even on there. I really don't. It was some random video, and he was selling books and DVDs like how to do magic. It was like, it almost seemed like an old 90s like infomercial, but they put it on Amazon Prime. Anyway, he had this whole like ritual stage like set up in his house, I guess. But they had this guy, and he had stayed He shaved his head. He had stayed celibate for a year. He went through all this ritual stuff for like a whole year. And when I was watching this, I did not believe in any of this crap. I didn't even know what I was looking at. I was just kind of laughing because they're all wearing robes and stuff like that. Well, then he had this black mirror and they were all standing around him, and he started focusing into the black mirror, and you could see like this fog, like this etheric being. It was a lady that came out of it. And I was like, whoa, that's freaking weird. But I still did not believe it until all of this stuff happened and I actually had stuff come out of my mirror. So I really want to go into how these are channels. You have to watch what you are really taking in and how much these people are getting into your head, because I'm seeing some really like cult like behavior from a lot of these truther channels and stuff like that. And I am not a part of any group. I've met a few friends here, but I really am on my own and doing this like for real. You know what I mean? I go away for months at a time, and that's why. I'm not here to just push out content and get subscribers and stuff like that. I never even wanted to be on YouTube, but I had to get this out of me, and it helps me a lot. And I think it helps my friends. And just like right now, it's getting very hard for me to talk. Like, this is not easy for me to do. I get really messed with. Everything that I've done, none of this has been easy for me. It's been absolutely the biggest challenge ever, for my boyfriend, for us to try and understand, you know, like each other, what we're each other are going through. Like I mentioned, you know, whole celibacy thing. I mean, for me to just stop and go sell real estate or something would be much easier than what I'm doing. But I know what we're in is a simulation, and that these bodies are a complete death trap, and that we need to do everything that we can. So that is the only love that I can really show and give here. And I can't, you know, I can't be the person that I was ever again. And it's very, very hard. So I do go through a lot of like bullshit, just from having this channel, you know, little comments and stuff that I get. And that's just everything trying to force me to back off from this. And I really am grateful for the people that are here and actually get something from this and actually give the time to be respectful and actually appreciate what I'm trying to do here. Because I know it's not, you know, you guys, I know that you go to channels to look for answers and things like that. And all that I have is my experience. And I really hope that it helps everybody in some way. And to know that our consciousness and that we are truly more than this is invaluable, and we can't lose that. And this whole Black Mirror technology thing, the watchers are us from being looped back again and all of that. You know what I mean? And that's where, that's why we're here and why we had to come at this time. And that's why this time is so important. And I hope everybody just really tunes into their own heart and consciousness and has the same type of insights and things like that. This is absolutely horrible to do it by yourself. And I want to be back with the people that I trust and trust me and real, true love. I want all of us back where we belong in a true reality. Because this is absolutely horrible. And the internet is just full of like mistrust. The real world or whatever we're in right now is full of mistrust and horrible abuse and just every discomfort, ailment. It's hell here. And I really just want the best for everybody. And we have to take care of ourselves, and our consciousness is that's the biggest part that we need to really make sure that we protect. And so the TV and the internet is absolutely horrible. I'd rather not have anybody watching my content because they're doing their own work. And yeah, I just think that people need to know what these black mirrors are and how magic works and everything. So I really am going to start getting more into that type of content in the next month or two before I go off on my own for a couple months. Okay, guys. Hopefully I can get another one out in the next week and maybe do a live or something this weekend. Thank you very much.